spiel of saying this is public and
Yep, all
recorded
that
and all
fun
that good
stuff.
stuff.
So hopefully it's recording. Yes, it is. So welcome everyone. So this is the Cloud Provider vSphere monthly meeting. Um, Today is May 1st, 2019. And just as a reminder, this is public and recorded. And if you have a problem with that, you have an option to log off now. I'm going to throw the agenda in the chat so everyone has a copy of it. And we are good to go. So yeah, so we're going to cover current status and then just groom the backlog. And then if anybody has any additional things they want to talk about, you can throw it at the end of the agenda doc here. So first, I guess big news is that we have the Cloud Provider vSphere repos and the CSI repo separated now. They're split. If you look at the agenda doc there, I just for completeness, I have both repos listed in GitHub, and you can find the CCM and the CSI repos there. And Travis, I don't know if you want to add any more, since you're here, you want to add any more color to or detail to like what went into splitting it and whatnot.
Not too much. I mean, I think we kind of covered, the process before, but yeah, it's been there about a week and a half now, and as part of the split, we did immediately integrate the new CSI repo with the Kubernetes Prow infrastructure. So it's already set up to do all of the same pre-submit checks. So all of the Go linting is in place, unit tests are in place, and there's a post-submit job where after every merge to master, it will build and push new images. That's actually, I will say as a heads up, one thing that hasn't happened yet. So while the job's there, I haven't seen it happen because we haven't had any commits since it was there. And the one gotcha there is that as part of the move, I did change the name of the driver. So the current image latest isn't technically correct. So I hope to fix that in the next day or two because there'll be some commits coming. But otherwise, it's pretty straightforward and had a lot of help from the GitHub team and from Andrew Kutz to get the Prow stuff in place. So I'm really happy to see that done. Yep.
Okay. And actually, with the change of the driver name, did we update the manifest and the YAML or not yet?
Yes, and that's actually kind of part of the issue. As part of moving over the repo, I did change all the manifests, but that means that if you went and deployed that right now, since a new image hasn't been pushed, they wouldn't match. But if you're deploying today and you're deploying on a 1.14, the manifests need updating anyway. So that's something that's coming. So it's in kind of this weird transition state right now, but that should be resolved shortly.
Okay, cool. And then actually probably add another item to the list here. Since we're just going to cover some CSI stuff anyways. Yeah, we have, me and Travis have been working on CSI support for 1.14. There was a user issue out in the community there saying, that they were having problems with it, and we're openly investigating that right now. So.
Yeah, and I can give an update there. I mean, the manifests do have to change a fair amount. It's mostly around RBAC, and that in 1.14, all of the custom resource definitions that were being used previously have been moved in tree, and so you don't need to create the CRDs anymore. So that changes some things. It simplifies some things. I don't have a story around upgrade for 1.13 to 1.14 yet, but just a net new deployment on 1.14 isn't too bad. I have the manifests for that created except for one final step. And I could describe that, but that would be too in the weeds for this meeting. But I have working manifests now and new RBAC roles, and I just need to update the docs. So almost there.
Alrighty, cool. And then the last significant item on the agenda here is I'm continuing to research the affinity scheduling. So I threw the issues there, and then also the background for what this discussion or this research is based on. It's the vSphere affinity scheduling plugin that was done about a year-ish back, and I'm actually the one that's still looking at that. I actually have a couple ideas based on what's in that repo and like what was documented. So I should have something shortly to like present or propose. So that's still ongoing. And then we're just going to go groom the backlog. If you take a look at the milestone, I think it's what V1 Alpha 1 is the milestone in the repo. There's like 3 significant items still on that milestone. The first one's to improve the documentation. And we got it tracked by actually a couple of issues, one in the cloud provider vSphere repo and another one in the cloud provider repo upstream. That work is still continuing. Andrew Sai Kim is the one who's actually kind of leading the documentation refactor effort. So we're trying to improve the documentation, make it easier for everyone to just to find stuff, you know, like where the CCM is, where CSI lives, and all that other fun stuff. There is a PR open, but it's still in the do not merge, so it's still being actively worked on. Yeah. Anybody have any questions about any of this stuff so far, or good to continue on? Alrighty. So the second item is the CCM Helm chart. It's actually been done for quite some time. This is actually my PR, my issue for the charts repo. I need to revisit this. It's just been on the back burner because I've been working on CCM stuff and then also CSI stuff and then also now CAPV stuff. So it's in the back burner. One option we do have, and there are actually a bunch of other people, if they're the people who are like maintaining the charts repo, if they're not willing to merge, you know, the chart for it, there is another option where we could host the chart ourselves and then create basically in Helm, create a link to our repo, our charts repo, and that could live on GitHub. And yeah, there is an option for that. I'd rather not do that because it's yet another step we'd have to like maintain and document. So I'm gonna circle back at some point and then try to talk to the guys that are maintaining charts and hopefully get that merged soon. And then the third item is so there's an outstanding issue number 75 for adding end-to-end tests for CSI using VMC. This most likely is going to get, it's still pending work, and you know we're still using this issue to track it. What we probably will do, Travis, correct me if I'm wrong, we'll probably end up moving this over to the CSI repo just to track it.
Yeah, definitely.
Better home for it than here now.
Yeah, I moved a couple valid issues. There were only a couple open against CSI, and I didn't move this one, so I will do that. But yeah, this is still happening. I'm also right now working on some tests that just use kind. Rather than being an E-test, it's still a little bit of a smoke test to make sure that we can deploy and run on different versions of Kubernetes. And an example of that, like we were talking about earlier, that the manifests that we have documented right now don't work for 1.14. The kind tests would catch that because when you try and when you try to deploy the pods, they never start. And that would be an easy thing to catch with kind. So I'm working on that as well. But yes, I will move that issue over.
Okay, cool. No worries. And I think that's all we have.
Yeah, I added one thing at the end of there. I just remember Fabio bringing it up. You know, a month ago we were talking about when are the next releases for the cloud controller and the CSI, you know, images going to be released. And you know, I don't know if we can decide that today, but you know, one of the blocking things there is Fabio didn't want to do the next release of the cloud provider until the CSI repo was split. And I think that was the main blocking thing. So that hurdle is removed, and now we can release those on separate schedules. So I don't know what the answer there is, but I just wanted to bring it up that I know people are looking for it, and at least now we can do the cloud provider. I don't know what Fabio's schedule for that is. On the CSI side, there's a few things that have to be resolved first, mainly those 1.14 manifests and making sure that post submit job is working and pushing new images, and then we can tag like a 0.2 for that. So I would expect that in the next couple of weeks.
I thought we were going to do a 0.1.2.
I want to do it as a 0.2.0.
Okay.
It's still alpha.
Okay, gotcha.
I think 0.2 is appropriate because it has a lot of new features in it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It should be
Okay.
0.2.
Yeah, as far as a milestone goes, it would be V1 Alpha 2. I don't know, but yeah, now we can do our own from the cloud provider. So to me, it's a 0.2.
Yep. All right, cool. And I think that's the end of our list here. If anyone else has anything, you can speak up now. Anything you want to talk about, issues, things you've heard about, Slack, all that fun stuff. Nope. Alrighty. Going once. Going twice. Alrighty.
Wait.
Oh,
Okay.
Steve.
So reach for my unmute, and Zoom was buried in the desktop.
That's why I tried to delay the countdown.
There's a, for those of us who will be in Barcelona for KubeCon Europe, there's a face-to-face meeting of the VMware SIG, and it's for current developers. So I would guess that the people on this call would qualify for that. You have to sign up in advance. It's a separate admission thing that comes with your badge. And so if any of the people on this call are going to be there, I'd encourage you to go register for that pre-event. I think it's on Monday.
You know Monday at what time?
Off
the top of your head.
2 p.m.
It was 9, but it's morning.
Okay.
Well, I see an intro to Kubernetes SIG. Is that the one?
No, it's not a regular session. It's something in the pre-events. If you can give me a minute, I'll have to dig through old Slack messages, but I can find it. Just a minute.
Yeah, the only reason why I ask is because I'm actually landing Monday at like 10 a.m., I think.
Oh, okay. So if you went there, guessing you might be a little jet lagged.
No. Alrighty. Find it or not?
Just a minute.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, it'll be good to catch up with everyone at KubeCon. It'll be a lot of fun. And hopefully we can talk about some interesting stuff going forward.
Where is everyone staying at, out of interest?
I'm at some hotel called The Edition, but I don't think there's any consistent location. That people seem to end up all over the place. I did that based on people familiar with the area telling me that the area where the actual conference is so dead at night that you can't even find restaurants open, so that I should stay downtown. But I've never been there before.
No, it's like an industrial area. There's not a whole lot going on around the conference center.
Yeah, I forgot what hotel I'm at. I'm just in downtown, north of the Gothic quarter. So,
but I think
diagonal.
Once word got out that the official conference hotels were not in a desirable location, I think people just went on the concourse system and picked things on the list. That's what I did.
Yeah, I'm in downtown as well, near, on La Rambla. So I think we're all going to end up in the same location, basically.
Yeah, I'm totally unfamiliar with the area, so I don't even remember the neighborhood, but somebody else recommended the area to me.
Alrighty.
I did put the link to that event in the chat.
Yeah, and I moved it to the doc, and then after the meeting, I'll clean up and throw the notes in, like based off everyone's discussion here, and I'll clean it up.
Yeah, somewhere as I poke through this, it ends up with a web page that you go to register. And when you first go through the process, it sort of implies you'll be charged for it, but the charge is $0. So you just end up clicking through it, and eventually it will tell you you're registered. Ask you your t-shirt size, and it asks you if you want to speak, and if so, what would you speak on?
Alrighty, cool.
So David, I think you not only ought to come after your jet lag, but you should come and speak too.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun. All right, maybe it could happen. We'll see. Alrighty, so last call. Going once, going twice. Alrighty, everyone have 40 minutes back to your day. Thanks a lot, guys and gals.